I don't know. It's still kind of a blur. I blur as I get older. I've noticed that I blur a lot of things out that I don't want to remember, and it's kind of a coping mechanism. So there's a lot of things that unless someone else brings it up that maybe was with me during that time, and it's not like I have dementia. I mean, God help me. I really hope that never happens to me, but it's definitely on purpose. I've forgotten a lot of things that have happened in my past.
Hello, welcome to Fortune and Romance with your host, Taylor Fortune and
B.A. Shay. Good, and you?
So today on the podcast, we have Danielle Thompson, who is a motivational speaker and knows how to see life purposes. And yes, that's exactly what I mean. She can see them through a process called knowing. She's not here right now. She will be on soon. And BA and I wanted to talk a little bit about ourselves since you guys should know a little bit more about who we are and what we're doing here.
Because he's a Leo and I'm a Scorpio. We love to talk about ourselves.
Exactly. So we figured, hey, so let's just start it there. And I'm going to throw some questions at BA. She's going to throw some questions right back at me. And we're going to have a little fun here. So BA.
Pick the girls up. Hold on.
Yeah, pick the girls up a little bit.
I got this top today. I was trying to find an outfit. I have an event tomorrow night. So I'm like cheap when it comes to buying clothes. I'll buy nice shoes and stuff like that. But when it comes to clothes, I feel like if you can rock it, if you have a nice body, I feel like you can rock like a tracksuit at an event and still look good. So I went to Forever 21 and I got this like bodysuit and I have a couple other options, but for some reason it's hard keeping the girls in. So I'm like pulling it up a little bit.
Yeah, that's an occupational hazard, I guess.
Yes. Thank you, okay. Dr. G. Thank you for your service 10 years ago. I know you're retired. I wish you would come back. I'd like to have a little change, but here we are.
Little, upgrade in the aftermarket parts.
Yeah, like I like a little smaller, like a little smaller, a little closer together. Life happens, gravity happens. Here we are.
Hey, okay, I got a really funny, interesting question for you.
I'm not ready for this.
No. This is light. This is getting to know you shit. I obviously know the answer from my perspective, but how did you and I get to know one another? What is our backstory? And you can say anything you want. No,
I actually feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, which you will regardless, but I want to say on my Instagram, I tagged myself, one of my pictures in LA, right? And didn't you message me?
I definitely messaged you from Instagram, 100%.
So that's what it was. I tagged even though my location, I don't think at the time was LA, Hollywood, or whatever the location was. I do that on a whim on some of my pictures I post because it gets me out there in different locations. So that's like a little strategy. Don't steal it. But that's like a little strategy. So I think that that's how you found me. If I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong. There's obviously maybe more to the story, but I believe that that's part of it.
That's exactly part of it now that I'm remembering. And I believe I contacted you. I started contacting some people in LA because I was in Northern California and I was moving down to LA. And then you, a couple of the people I met who were into spirituality, astrology, tarot, Reiki, all that kind of stuff. I'm like, okay, these are the people I need to get to know down in LA to, just be part of a new community, move my job down there and just start, making friends. Fuck, we all need friends. And then I found out that you were not in LA, that you were actually in Boston. But you and I I think we did a tarot card reading early on and we just got along famously.
I am, by the way, I am coming to LA for October for around Halloween. With one of my friends. So I will be there. So you will officially get to meet the BA from Badass Lashes.
Right.
And so I'm actually going to be, I'm not going to say, I was going to say my Halloween costume, but I'm going to save it.
No, save it. Wear it on the show.
It's so hot.
We can do a live version of the show in our costumes.
Oh my God.
I don't know what I'm going to be yet, but I'm going to have to match whatever you have. Yeah, that's one thing that's really interesting about the COVID era that I'm sure a lot of people are aware of, but me and BA have not ever met in real life. She's in Boston, I'm in LA, and we have been, You and I have been talking on the phone, communicating for like almost a year.
I feel like that's how long it's been, which is, yeah. I would say, because yeah.
Yeah, and many tarot card readings.
I know. Can we like do like a 3-card spread real quick? Because like I get some questions. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I know. We're gonna do that as soon as we wrap. Yeah.
I'm like, excuse me.
Oh,
look at the Nine of Swords is the bottom of my deck right now.
Oh no, yeah, that's a bad one. Anxiety, nightmares, depression.
But the Emperor's in the middle.
Ooh, the Emperor. Hey, that's a mixed bag of energy there. There's some really powerful energy, but there's also some oppressive and authoritarian energy in there. It just depends on what side of the Emperor you are dealing with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the Emperor, bitch.
That's right. That's right. So, okay. So walk me through a little bit of your life. I know you were raised Catholic. So how did astrology come into the equation? And you have your own tarot card deck. I'm fucking Taylor Fortune. I don't even have my deck in front of me. Actually, as a matter of fact, this podcast is literally the only time in my day I don't have my tarot cards in front of me, because my entire rest of my life, I sometimes sleep next to my tarot deck, and I'm not even kidding.
Oh my gosh.
I know, because people call me throughout the night for emergency draws.
No, first of all, me? Are you saying I do not call you?
I didn't say that. I said people.
Oh, I was gonna say I know what you mean. But I would. We just have like a 3-hour time difference. Which is like nothing at all.
Right.
I feel like you don't sleep.
People have noticed that about me. I don't sleep. That's my problem.
You're like a vampire.
I sleep about 4 to 5 hours a night.
4 to 5?
4 to 5, yeah. 5 is a good night. 4 is a regular night.
What are you thinking about? I just did reverse psychology. You asked me a question about like all this other stuff, and I just completely reverted back to.
You know, I was gonna say something, but then I realized your Jedi mind trick works so well. I'm just rolling with the redirect. So, well played, BA. Well played. I used to be multiple things kept me up for a long time. Was anxiety my whole life, and then later it became we'll talk about that more on the show. People will get to know that side of us. And then it became medication. I was on corticosteroid medication, which basically has very similar effects to like a methamphetamine. So during the 3 years I had my autoimmune disease, and I was on steroid medication, not anabolic steroids, but steroids. Yeah,
you don't want to be on those. Those people get like psycho crazy.
Yeah, I didn't have fucking roids or anything. Yeah, fucking gorilla, buddy. But they were steroids all the same, and they kept me up. I would sleep about 2 hours a night, and I was even on like trazodone and other sleep-inducing sedatives.
Wow.
Yeah, and that habit has lasted with me since I've been off that medication, and now like 5 hours is like a luxury.
Wow. Well, that's good. I honestly think anything more than 7 hours, at least for me, I feel too rested, if that makes sense.
Yeah, understood.
I wake up, I'm in some, and I always have these crazy vivid dreams, and I wake up, sorry, I have hiccups. I wake up and I don't know where I am after more than 7 or 8 hours, and I don't like that feeling. So 6 or less hours for me is perfect.
Yeah, absolutely.
For me.
For you.
For me.
Back to
8 or more, but
your Jedi mind tricks are now wearing off. So back to your Catholic upbringing.
So anyway, so how did you grow up?
Me. So yeah, it was very untraditional. So what we're getting to the bottom of here is obviously there are things BA does not want to talk about from her.
No, it's not that. All right. So I'm not sending the energy over to you. Yes. All right, whatever. Fine. Well, I grew up Catholic. Yes, you're 100% correct. I grew up
As she
Catholic.
covers up.
I know, but I don't want the titty police to like be like, oh, she's trying to put her boobs down. She's trying to get attention because she thinks she's all that.
Oh my God. On this podcast.
I literally, Taylor, just be lucky you're not a chick. Okay.
Yeah, I know. But look, we are only trying to bring in the kind of people that are non-judgmental. If people are judging you, I don't want them as our audience.
I don't either. I'm all set. I can't. I'm so over all these judgmental people that just think that they know all about you, and they have no. That's why we have our show, isn't it, Taylor?
That's right. We are against censorship. We're against judgment. We're
Yep.
a free-thinking, independent, free-flowing stream of consciousness
Yep.
podcast.
Yep. Preach,
Right.
honey. Preach. Preach.
Catholic background, go. All right, so something's
Okay.
going on there.
Yes, no, really nothing crazy. So I grew up Catholic. I went to every weekend. I had to go to CCD. It was just a part of growing up. I guess I didn't know any better. I didn't know a lot of things that I know now. Now I look back on what I went through with, and I'm not knocking the Catholic religion whatsoever, but there were certain things that I did see during weekend retreats that didn't, now I look back on it, it seemed normal at the time. Now I look back, I'm like, that was not normal at all. So I just believe that there were certain things that I have seen that were almost like, I felt like certain things, I felt like I was in a cult.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Singing Kumbaya in a circle and talking about this crazy stuff, but it didn't make any sense to me. Now I look back on it, and I'm like, I was in some weird shit during the weekends. My mom thought she was sending me off to this, you know, all holy weekend, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Well, okay, give me a couple specifics on the shit you saw, because
yeah,
we're speaking the truth here.
Of course, yeah. So I was like younger. So I want to say, I could be a little off with the age, but I think it was like around like 12, 13,
yeah.
that age bracket. And you know, I went to these weekend retreats at this place that was local to where I lived. And I went there, you know, we really weren't allowed to bring our cell phones. We weren't allowed to bring certain electronics. And I just remember little things like we would sing in a circle, and then we did this like, what are they called? With like free falls, when you trust the other person to catch you?
Trust fall, maybe? Trust fall?
Yeah, something like that.
We know what you mean.
And
yeah,
trust falls and all that stuff, and then just singing, and that were just really burdensome. So going back to these weekend retreats, I definitely just remember seeing these teachers that ended up running away with these younger girls. And then I'm like, what are they doing? Like, I was young, but not stupid. And then as I got older and I'm like woke, as they say, I'm woke, yo.
Woke, baby.
I'm woke. I see now, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I was in a cult, and my mom thought she was sending me off to this religious, like, woo, and it wasn't the case at all.
Yeah. Wow.
So now I have absolutely nothing against the Catholic religion, the Christian religion. I'm not like that whatsoever. I just have my own beliefs. Yeah. I believe in God, and I believe in spirituality now as I'm older. I'm 34 years old. Yes, I said it. I'm 34. Good on you.
I'm 40.
And I love my 30s more than my 20s. But back to the main point is that I definitely believe in spirituality now, and I believe in the signs and the things. Everything related to spirituality is with me. And I'm not knocking anyone, Taylor, that believes in anything Catholic or Christian. It's just how I live my life.
Understood. Yeah. Great answer.
Girl, so good. Still in here. You're in titty police.
Okay. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm gonna bring on Danielle.
I have my birthmark though.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's like a professional model kind of.
It's like how not Marilyn Monroe. Was it Marilyn? No.
Cindy Crawford had the mole.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
I actually have one too. I don't right there.
Oh yeah, look at you.
Good you.
I knew you'd be in the pictures.
Yeah.
Okay, here comes Danielle.
Okay, cool.
All right. She's joining, folks.
Inspire yourself. I love that.
Yeah, I know. Inspire yourself. We need a video, Danielle.
To inspire ourselves.
And there she is.
Yeah.
How you doing?
How's it going?
Hi, honey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. Oh, I love the black lace. That's so sexy.
Oh, right?
Yes. I love all black everything. I'm like the only one here not wearing black for once in my life.
I know, right?
Yeah, you were in black the other day.
Yes, I love black. Black everything.
That's funny.
Okay, so Danielle, I introduced you. BA and I just started. We were just kind of spitballing back and forth. So I introduced you earlier as a motivational speaker and somebody who is able to see, I kind of put that in quotes, people's soul purposes or life purposes. I know
Yeah.
it's not physically seeing them, it's more of a feeling. So we're just going to begin with you right now and introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself. You don't have to tell everything. We'll kind of just go along the way here. So just tell us whatever you want right at the moment.
Yeah, basically in a nutshell, always known I was different. And for whatever reason, I could just see why people went through the traumas that they went through and what they were meant to do with it. And I guess like what their divine purpose is, but we do have free will. So not everybody will actually accomplish that in one lifetime. So for
Right.
me, I can clearly see it. So I'm kind of like, I don't really hold anything back, where I'm like, well, you signed up for this
noticed that.
shit. And, you know, so yeah, with anyone, it could be a random person on the street. And I just see, and I can know every life lesson that they went through, every
Wow.
trauma, why they went through it. It's really weird.
You're a bad bitch.
It's
You're a bad bitch.
Dude,
it's a blessing
wild.
and a curse.
Okay,
I
So
love
what-
it. I have to talk to this girl after the show because I want to know what she thinks about me.
Actually,
No,
you know
no.
what's funny is I knew to offer you to say, we got to talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Begin now. I want to hear it in real time. Let's have some of those. Well, okay, actually,
Oh
hold
no,
on.
now I'm scared. She's like black and white like me, so she's gonna be like,
No, BA, I got to tell you this. So, Danielle, the reason why you and I are talking about you on is because you told me a lot of shit about me. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I need to interview this person. I need BA to hear this. I need the world to hear
yeah.
this.
He kept talking about you, saying how amazing you were and how black and white you were, which I appreciate. I hate people that don't say are their true selves. You know?
Right.
Well, the thing is, if people like it or not, we sign up for this shit,
Yep.
good and bad. So we can stay in victimhood, or we can be like, okay, I did this, this, and this for this, this, and this, right? And then someone like me says, hey, get out of your trauma, get out of your victim, and realize you're supposed to come here. We're all supposed to come here and blow shit up. And yeah.
What do you mean by that? I'm following you, but tell people what that means.
So, like, everyone has, I guess, okay, if you look at the Bible says that God had written golden scrolls on your life. If you look at New Age, they call it Akashic records. We all have a higher purpose. We all have a reason for why we're going through what we're going through. We have a reason for it. And here's the thing that's interesting about humans. Unfortunately, we learn more through pain than anything. So if we were to come here
true.
and everything was just fucking love and light, we would learn nothing.
100%.
Most people sign up for certain like common denominators. And this is what I found Taylor to be quite interesting. When I first tapped into him, is I could see clear as day. He's similar to myself, who doesn't have a common denominator. You signed up for a wide range of things, but the reason that you signed up for that wide of a range, because you've been through it all. You've been through everything from addiction to the loss of people. Like, who loses that many people? You've been through an illness, which is crazy. You've been through a lot. Now,
Divorce.
the reason for that is so that you can help anyone. You can relate to anyone.
I have shows right now talking about this.
I knew you
He's
like.
going
I
to do
knew BA
huge
would like
things.
this.
He just doesn't even know it yet. That's what's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I guess that's in a nutshell. A big
Oh,
nutshell.
that's amazing. That's a fantastic answer. I do want BA to ask you some questions because you and I have actually talked a decent amount, and I know she's gonna have a few things to ask you.
No,
No
I
pressure.
think you are an amazing. You're like a starseed. You are. You are brought to
I-
earth to.
different. Yeah. Like I said, it's a blessing and a curse. You can bring anybody to water, but you cannot make them drink.
Oh my god, that's my favorite saying. I think I love you.
It is so hard. Honestly, I always ask, I'm like, why would you give me this shit? Because all I want to do is run around and beat everybody with a fucking baseball bat. Like, I just want to be like, hello, don't you know? Or what's that old TV show, McFly?
yeah. Back to the Future.
Yeah.
Um,
I love you. What the fuck? Where has she been?
I'm telling you, I know
He's
who to
a
recruit.
Spitfire. You know I love Spitfires. I love that.
Well, we right now are going through people are either going to make it or they're going to break it.
Yep.
And the ascension that we're all going through right now is massive. And we all asked for this, by the way, but it's massive. And people need to come into who they truly are. Mm-hmm. No more of this being divided. No more of not being who you are. So many people are trying to fill voids, and they fill it with so many different things, and they'll never be happy. The only way that you're ever going to be happy is if you're on your soul's path and living your divine blueprint of who you are, why you're here. That's the only happiness we will ever find, ever.
I feel like you're sending me some Reiki vibes. I have chills and I can't stop it. I just shaved and I feel like my hair is growing back on my legs.
That's fun.
Oh my gosh. I don't know if it's me being Italian or what, but like my hair is growing back.
So I do that to people. They
cool.
say, but I don't know if it's me. I don't know. But yeah, people get goosebumps a lot around me. And I always laugh because I'm like, well, they're truth bumps. It means that there's something in your soul that is relating to what I'm saying. And that's your higher self being like, yes, fuck, listen. Yeah.
I feel like
I love it. So go ahead, Taylor. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay. My body is a natural reactor. I feel like all my illness is a barometer or a gauge for what I am either supposed to be doing or not supposed to be doing. Like everything with my autoimmune disease, every time I made missteps in my life, when I was going down the wrong path, that's when there'd be like a resurgence in it. My lungs would start, the inflammation would begin, the lungs would start swelling, the kidneys would start failing. And then I would have to get medical treatment. I'd get my life back on track into a direction that was more in line with like what Danielle says, my life purpose, and everything would start to heal again and heal again. And then you start making missteps again because we're fucking human.
No. It is not, I'm sorry, but it's not it is not a misstep.
Yeah.
When people take those steps back or they go to what they think that they're failing, you are meant to do that. We learn more through pain and struggle. You get more strength every time you go back and then bounce forward. It's like they're showing me a slingshot.
Yeah.
Every time you go back, it excels you even more. And this is what we have to teach people, is that it's okay not to be okay. It's okay to go back. It's okay to feel like everything is falling the fuck apart, because it's fucking meant to.
Yeah.
You want it to fall apart so you can ascend even more. It's like a slingshot. So every time you had those experiences, they were puzzle pieces that you needed in order to do the big picture. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah.
So never look at it like, never ever, and this is probably my biggest message to everybody, is don't look at it like you're failing because you're disappointing yourself or what you think or where you think you should be, because you are exactly where you are supposed to be at all times. Even with the fails, even with those days where you don't want to get out of bed, even with those days where you feel like you completely ruined everything.
Why am I so emotional right now? Oh my God.
I'm sorry, am I making you cry?
No, it's good. And you? Keep going. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Okay.
Keep going.
I hear you too. I want to push back a little bit though, because I'm a little worried that what you're saying will allow people to make excuses for not doing jack shit. And then them just saying, oh,
Right.
It's just the way it's supposed to be. So
No.
I guess I was supposed to get drunk last night. I guess I was supposed to do a bunch of cocaine and fuck this prostitute because that's just my life path.
No.
Comment.
Is what you do is you learn from it.
Yeah.
So you say, okay, well, fuck me. I went and I did that again. Okay.
Yeah.
So now you have a choice. You can realize from that moment, you can let it excel you forward, or you can let it put you back. And we have free will. And the whole reason why we get disappointed in ourselves is because we know that we're not being true to ourselves.
Right.
Deep down inside, I mean, our soul really doesn't give a shit what anybody thinks, right? It's us ourselves. We put ourselves on the pedestal. We say that we're supposed to be a certain way. And yeah, the biggest thing is people do need to get out of victim and realize you signed up for this shit. And this is why a person like me can be a little bit hard to handle when people don't want to hear those messages.
Yeah.
They want you to sugarcoat a lot of stuff, and that's not what you're here to do.
Well, I mean, you can have empathy and compassion, right? Like, but then on the other hand too, you have to realize you signed up for this. And that in itself, especially if you have someone who had, say, a lot of trauma, nobody wants to hear that they signed up for that. But if you're someone like me who can explain it to them and say, this is why. And if you didn't go through that, then you wouldn't know this and you wouldn't be how you are. Right? So I want people to stop thinking that they're failures, that they're not good enough, because anything that you went through, good or bad, you were meant to.
I agree with you 100%. And I didn't know that until probably about a year ago. And there's a lot we could talk about during this podcast, but I agree with everything you just said.
Well, BA, humor us with the one or two specifics about what happened to you a year ago. We're here for the truth, baby.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I had, I guess they call it like my great awakening like a year ago.
Yeah.
I was pretty much put through a really sad point in my life where everything kept failing. Relationship failed. My grandmother passed away. There was a lot of things that happened. I didn't know how to go from there, I guess. And I'm like, what else is out? What am I here for? I had that moment where I'm like, what am I brought in this earth for? What am I doing right now? I'm 34 years old. What am I doing? So getting to that low point in my life where I'm like, the world's closing down because of COVID. My job shut down. I have to do something. I'm not here for just sitting around and doing nothing. So I started a business and I started my Badass Lashes because I had all the time in the world, like a lot of people did. And because I went through all that trauma and that abuse from who I was with and the grandmother passing away and a lot of other things, I took all that energy where I could have just sat around and complained, and I started a business.
Yeah. And here's my question. Would you change any of it?
No.
Exactly.
See,
you did what you were supposed to do. This whole thing in this last year was basically to wake people the fuck up.
Yeah.
We are so disconnected. We're kind of, honestly, I laugh all the time because I tell people, I'm like, we are fucking epically failing as a human race. Not gonna lie. Yeah. Like, we are so,
I can't
we're
stop.
So, do goosebumps? Sorry. We're so divided. And this was meant to take people, because everyone was already feeling that even before COVID. They were feeling that loss, that emptiness, that I'm not where I'm supposed to be. I'm not living the life I'm supposed to have. And that's that ascension, right? And so we were given what my head calls a great pause.
Yep.
Now, I say that very selectively because there's a lot of people who lost people. So I don't want to touch into those life lessons, but what did you do with this time? Because it was meant to get people off of autopilot. It was meant for people to realize what is important. If you think about it, just even the fact that people couldn't phone them, they had to phone their family instead of seeing their family. Yeah. That intense fear of, I don't know if I'm ever going to see anybody again. I don't know when we're going to be allowed to, or if this will happen. A beautiful shift happened. People were spending more time with their kids. People were making amends. People were making those phone calls. They were spending that time. They were realizing. And then a lot of people had the people purge. Who do I really want in my life and who is fake as fuck, right? Like, we needed that. And so the cool thing about you, when I read you, BA, is that you did your shit. A lot of people did, but a lot of people didn't. And there's a clear divide right now on the ones who did and the ones who didn't. And you have your soul is calling you to guide people so you can help them. This is what both of you are doing. This is what a lot of people are doing if you did your work.
You know, even...
Go ahead, Taylor.
Yeah, go ahead.
You sure?
It's all you.
Okay, cool. I don't want to talk over you. I'm sorry. I do. Everything you just said is so on point. And I feel like sometimes I'm the black sheep in my family, where I try to guide them in what I believe is the right direction, but I don't want to come off like I am telling them how to live their life, because that's not where I'm coming from. I'm coming from a heartful place, and I want my family to really see the light as I see it. And I feel like sometimes I'm very alone because they don't see the world the way I see it. But I had to go through a lot of trauma to see that darkness to get to the light. If that
You
makes
were
any
born to be a healer. And so you're similar to me in that sense, where you have the biggest heart.
Yeah.
I can already tap into you. You are, oh my God. Okay, I'll say a little bit of your life lesson. You know what's so fucking cool about you?
I've chilled again. Keep going.
All right, here it comes. I'm gonna call you out, dude. Okay, here's the best part about your soul. Your soul is not only fucking stunning on the outside, it's stunning on the inside, and you don't even see it. You are like a fucking walking like, oh. And the best part is that you don't see it. That's what I love about you. And so it would have taken you a lot of, well, the thing is like you would have spent a lot of life lessons thinking you're your shell. And the shell is who you are. Deep down inside, you know, you're by far the most compassionate in your family. You're by far the most healing out of anybody. You can feel shit from fucking anyone.
Mm-hmm.
And you always could. But you didn't know what to do with it. So
Nope.
I've struggled in the last year with that same thing, especially what do you do when you love people so much, but you can't help them?
Nope.
I've done what you've done. I've spent a lot of my life running around, like I said, wanting to beat the shit out of people with baseball bats.
Yeah.
Because you just want to help. You see so clearly. So just because you can't see life paths doesn't mean that you don't know how to guide someone. You're meant to be a guide and a healer. That's who you are. And so the biggest thing that I've learned is to step back and to just kind of hold space and love them unconditionally, because you're sending that energy to that person. And all you can do is like pray that they're going to make the right decision, because the way the energy works, if we force it on someone, they actually do the opposite.
Right.
So more look at it like you plant seeds every time you say something, and then have faith that everything that you're guided to say will eventually sprout into a flower for them. Because that's the hardest part about being a healer in a dysfunctional family.
Yep.
Yeah. But you will heal them, just not in the way that you've been doing. Still give them an advice, for sure. But then let it go and surrender. That's hard.
It's different. So hard.
I know, right? Don't you just want to kick everybody's ass sometimes?
I do. I see things so clearly, and I see what certain family members are doing to other family members that I love so much. I'm like, do you not see what they're doing? Like, do you not, why aren't you seeing that for yourself? I'm like in the back, like, hello.
Yeah. And it's hard. It's really hard when it's people that you love.
Yeah.
I have loved so many people, and people that I know for me to love them, I have to let them go.
Yeah.
Because it's what's best for them. And the best way to do that is to just, the key to everything is unconditional love. And don't forget who we are. And that's what we are. Anybody can love somebody lovable, but can you love somebody unlovable? Can you love someone who's done the unthinkable? Because hurt people. And yes, healed people heal people. But to be a healed person, that means then you have to look at everyone and everything with unconditional love. So if you have a family member that's struggling with something, just love them, because they can't love themselves.
That's huge. That's
Well,
huge.
I won't go into detail, but I do have, my ex-marriage didn't end good, isn't in a bad place. I can't do anything to help him. However, it's amazing because I tell people, I'm like, all I have to do is love him, because he doesn't love himself. Everyone needs one person. even if it's someone who does really bad things. And this is a person who's like put me in the hospital and stuff. Like this is on in a 3D level, not someone that you should love, but who needs it more than someone like that?
I can, what you just said, that last part that we don't need to go into detail about, because I can as well for certain reasons, but I understand completely what you just said. As hard as it is, I have had to forgive my past relationship for all the bad things that I was put through, because I know that that person does not love themselves.
Yes.
So whatever they have put me through, that masked my, started my great awakening this year, I guess, I have to almost in a sense thank him, because he put me into this awful place where I felt like I couldn't do anything and I couldn't accomplish anything and I was worthless. That I started my own business. I started everything. I started from the ground up because I felt like I had to, and I felt worthless. And now I'm in my power, and a lot of people I feel like my people can't handle it. And it's not at all. And I am not cocky. I'm confident. And I went through the mud, was dragged through the mud, and I had nothing. And it took me a lot to learn my self-worth to where I am today. And I'm not going back. I'm not.
And so what if I told you, as a person who can see your path, you signed up for all that bad stuff so that you could fucking rock it from here?
I love that.
Well, that's the actual truth. You wouldn't be who you are if you didn't get drugged through that fucking mud. You wouldn't be who you are if you didn't go through every painful thing that you went through. And when people, like you said, people don't know how to handle you when you change. And when you glow up, my head is like, use the word glow up. Okay, so we'll use the word glow up because that's what they're saying. So people don't know how to handle you. So don't look at it from a place of ego, of being like, really? Didn't they see how much work I've done? How much I've done? Don't look at it at a place from ego. Look at it at a place of, they're not tapped in, so they don't know. And so they don't understand. They don't know the inner work that you've done. People just see the outer work, right? It's the inner work that has made you this way. And people don't know how to take it. So you just love them and be like, I hope you can get to this place where you feel whole and complete. Because it's taken me
into me right now. Are you doing this on purpose? I love this chick. Is this real life? Where'd you find her?
I'm telling you, the things that she's telling you for, different, but for me, she was doing the same thing for me about my own life. And that's why so much of it was like,
wow.
I was so impressed by it. I'm like, I just have to interview you on a more public platform here, because this is like beyond just things you can just share with me. Like, you need to share this with other people and let people know how, like, your process and how you can do this, and just hopefully we can give you people through this platform or something. But there's a gift there that I was really
well. You know what's funny is I don't actually do readings. I literally have a deal with God, source, universe, whatever the fuck you want to put a label on. Like, we label it, right? Just put me where I'm needed. I just want to help.
Well, maybe you will organically get clients through this process. And I don't think you should deny people, because I think you have a message that people will benefit from. So don't feel like out of some secluded moral obligation to source, you shouldn't share this stuff. You should share this.
No. My thing is, I've spent my entire life like BA chasing fucking everybody to fix them. Now, whoever needs whatever message, I'll just somehow fall into place. Like, I don't even know how you and I started messaging.
I don't know. Maybe you saw a live and it just one of my lives on IG and it was there.
It was organic.
It was organic. It was very organic. Because the fact that neither of us can remember just means it happened seamlessly. It's like,
I feel like it was meant to happen. Certain things happen because it was meant to happen.
Oh, for sure. And then I was told, not told, but I had this feeling, get him to give me a reading, which I don't let anybody read me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tarot reading.
But it was like, no, he's supposed to. I didn't really let him talk. I'm just going to talk the whole time.
Yeah. You kind of fucking read me. I was like,
you're not going to read me. I'm going to read you.
Yeah. I used this metaphor earlier. I think you and I got into an arm wrestling match, and I'm not sure that I won that one.
I don't know, but the way that I see it, however it played out was how it was supposed to play out.
Right? No,
Yep.
I know. Well, you can feel, you know, I think the details are fascinating. Feel free to talk about some of the things that you told me, only because it's just so interesting, and maybe talk a little bit about your process for how those knowings come to you.
I would love to be read by you as well live. I don't care. I hide nothing. I feel like the world needs to hear it. So please have the floor.
Like how it comes to me, you mean?
Well, first give one detail that you saw in me, and then maybe just go to BA and talk about her and how it comes to you.
So interesting. Yes.
So I think, okay. So with you,
Yeah.
you're about to get challenged. So I can tell you what you want to hear, or I'm going to tell you what you need to hear. Yeah, so you're going to get challenged, and you've been challenged throughout your life, and then you've stepped back and then went forward and stepped back and went forward, right?
Yeah.
And so with you, it was really interesting because I think, to me, I'm like, no, I don't understand. What do you mean? This guy says he wants to go this way, but I see him going this way. What the fuck? So you made me actually channel, which I don't like to do because I just wasn't filtering it right. That doesn't normally happen. Normally I can just bang, bang, filter it right. But with you, I just couldn't see the path that you were saying that you were supposed to take on how it got there. So you're going to go into this industry that you are meant to go into, and you're going to be challenged. You're going to have all that old stuff, and we get tested. You know, it's like we think we pass, and then they test us. Like we get our soul tests us. Like, oh yeah,
so
did you really fucking pass? Oh yeah, do you really know your fucking self-worth? Oh wait, do you really know your boundaries? Oh wait, are you really not going to touch that drug or that again? Let's see, right? And so the cool thing is that your puzzle pieces have all come together, and you are supposed to be in the industry that you're in, but it's because of that channeled message of you see the light within something that so desperately needs, like in a fairly dark world that needs a lot of light.
now you're talking about the modeling industry or the spiritual industry?
Well, you got to think every puzzle piece to every piece of your life has played a part.
Yeah.
Just like in your live today, you said, oh, how fucked up is that, you know, I ended up having all this equipment because I was doing this, and now I ended up doing this spiritual stuff. Oh shit. And the equipment worked for it. Right. So like when I saw you standing on like a stage and literally not like Tony Robbins, because you're going to keep it real, and you're just going to be a fucking badass like how you already are. Okay. You're not going to sell out. Yeah. Right. Right. BA is going to be right there with you.
Oh, BA may be my wingman in this whole process.
Well, she's done her work.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Me in front of a crowd. Go.
Yeah. So it's you in front of a crowd. But then when you were talking about going the modeling way, I'm like, what the fuck does this guy want to go fucking modeling? Doesn't he know what he's supposed to do?
which is what?
All of those. So your life path is similar to mine in the sense of you can relate to anyone. Mm-hmm. Okay. True. So, but you're very different in the certain path of the industry that you're going to help heal is why you had that calling to go to Hollywood, and why you have that calling to tap back into that industry. But once you tap back into the industry, you're going to be challenged. And I see you already passing it. Literally, you're going to be like at an event, and you're going to be like, oh, fuck, there was this Danielle girl who told me this, and I'm not allowed to do this. You're going to just know.
Are you
right?
talking
It's like
about
your final
drugs
test.
Or people, or what like the fucking allurement of flesh? Like what kind of challenges here? I like specifics.
All of the
Lay it on
above.
me. All the above, huh? Sounds like a good problem.
Get prepared, yo.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Get prepared, yo.
The thing is, like, that's an industry that, I mean, come on.
It's very dark. It's like, think about celebrities and what they go through to be celebrities. That's what I think she's going with.
Oh,
maybe.
I know.
Well, just that.
Yeah.
I mean, think about how many people spend most of their day thinking about how to change themselves.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There are people who sit there and they'll, take the picture and take the picture and take the picture. And it's like, you're so stunning. Your soul is stunning. And so many people, we're living in a world where nobody wants to be themselves. And yet, because they feel lost and empty, they don't want to be themselves. And yet the only way that they're going to fill that void is by being themselves. It's quite interesting.
Yeah.
Right? Like, have you ever tried to be someone who you thought you were supposed to be? And you just felt, and now when you're in your own path, both of you are in your own path. Can you not say that you glow now more than you ever have? And you're in where you're at least taking the steps to where you're supposed to go, right?
BA and I have literally spoken about that. Yeah. How the closer we come to standing in our truth and our power through our business, through self-actualization and self-empowerment, we feel more attractive. And I'm not even talking about physical beauty. We're just like the radiance that we feel from the inside out because we're actually doing what the fuck it is we're supposed to be doing with our lives. And nothing is more attractive than that.
Great. To answer the question, absolutely. I am very proud of myself because it took me to get to a very low place in my life to realize my self-worth, and it has zero to do with my outside appearance. It has all to do with my inner work that I've done. And no one knows the inner work that I've done, and they all think, oh, where did this come from? Where did that come from? I've been working on myself and I just don't talk about it.
Yeah. So all you can do is guide others. And the way to guide them is to say, I just one day decided to fucking be me and fucking do me.
Yeah. Unapologetically as well.
Yeah.
Unapologetically. I have nothing to apologize about. And if you can't handle Beth Ann 2.0, that's on you. You need some inner work to do as well. It took me 1.5 years to get to where I'm at. So work on you and then come back.
It actually took you a lot longer. You would have had something traumatic happen. I hear 8 years ago. So something was a shift around 8 years ago. Something shifted in your life around 8 years ago. So don't think that you've just been working on this for 1.5 years, babes. You've been working on it for a fucking long time. So what happened 8 years ago?
I'm really trying to think back. There's been so many tower moments in my life. I really would have to sleep on this to get back to you, and I will tomorrow.
You hook me up and you let me know, because
I will. I am gonna think about it. There is more than likely something that traumatic that happened 8 years ago. I would not doubt it. But there's been so many, I've lost track. So
it might not even be traumatic. It might just be that's where it started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will definitely.
It could be anything from you 8 years ago driving down and having an epiphany. I just don't want you to sell yourself short when you say that it's only been 1.5 years. No. Yeah. It took a long time to go down, and maybe it's 1.5 years of going up. But no. You've been working on this soul shit for a long time.
You're right. It was going up for 1.5 years. Now that I think about it, you're 100% right.
Yeah.
Thank you for changing my mindset.
Yeah, no, you don't. All of that going down, that's the fucking hard shit. That's the shit that we got to be proud of ourselves for.
Right.
Right. And then don't put yourself back there. Right.
Never.
You're going to get tested.
I can't allow myself to. I can't. I will never let myself get down to that level, because that is the worst feeling. I felt like I was nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But here's the beautiful thing about that, love. You had to feel like you were nothing to know that you were something.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's the most.
What's the saying? I'm hearing in my head, breakdowns lead to breakthroughs. I know it's such a generic saying, but
oh my God. Yeah. I love that. Oh, I need to write that down. Taylor, don't forget that, because I don't have a pen anywhere.
Yeah, I won't forget it.
So is what I'm hearing is breakdowns lead to breakthroughs, for we are all perfectly imperfect. And the sooner that we realize that, the sooner that we will actually be one with our soul.
Taylor, would you find her?
Yeah.
I love her. I want to be your friend. I'm sorry. Where are you from? You don't have to say where city you're from, but are you near Taylor? Are you near me? Where are you from?
No, I'm a fucking Canadian.
We're international, baby.
Damn it. Can you get me some cheap insulin for my goddamn dog? I'm paying $200 a month for insulin.
Oh, yeah, we don't even talk about your medical. Actually, I was telling Taylor this morning, my closest big city is actually Spokane, Washington. My closest Canadian. So like if I'm going to go to Costco, because, you know, can't not go to fucking Costco, right? I have kids.
Of course.
If I'm going to go to Costco, Spokane Costco is like 2 hours away. And the closest Canadian Costco to me is 4 hours away. I'm 10 minutes to the US border.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're not that far from me. I'm just saying. I'm in Boston, so you're not that far.
Wait, yeah, because you're on the other side.
I'm like Googling it. I'm like, I need to meet this bitch.
She's on the West Coast. You're on the East Coast.
Right.
Yeah. I'm like,
Look
no,
up.
we're kind of
Figure
far,
it out.
Lovey.
I mean, we're not that far spiritually. We're all very close. You know?
Well, the thing is, too, everyone is finding their soul families right now.
Right.
And they might just be people that come into your life for a moment, and they might be people who come into your life for a long time. But you're finding people that with little pieces, plant those seeds, change your fucking life. If you did the work, you're meeting your soul family. If you didn't do the work, fucking, oh my God, put a seatbelt on for the next year and a half. Holy shit.
That's what I feel. I feel like I've let go of a lot of people that I thought were my friends, but I've grown a lot closer to people that I've even just met online. Yeah. It's very bizarre to me. It's weird. It's like, I feel like I've met Taylor already in person, just the amount of times we've talked online and through our podcast and everything else. And a lot of other people all over the world that I've grown very close to in the spiritual community, that I feel very close to, more close to than I have with people that I've been friends with for years.
So that's because you've done the work, love. You've done that purging. You took that time. You took this, you know, great pause, whatever the fuck we want to call it. You took that time to really see, who are you? Who do you want to be? Who will you not be again? Who is in your life forever? Who is not? Who serves you? Who doesn't serve you? Getting rid of people who are no longer a vibrational match to you is not a bad thing. It is only a bad thing if you get rid of people if you get rid of people through hate. If you get rid of people through hate, then you are not learning anything that you're supposed to be learning. If you let people go with love, be like, here's an example. I broke up with a girlfriend one time. We were just our friends. And we just, honestly, I just really liked her kids, and I liked to make her kids fucking banana bread. We weren't even really, honestly, we were so different. Yet, I mean, if she's in the hospital, then I'd be there. But I said to her one time when COVID and everything hit, I said, I think I just want everybody 50-50. And she's like, well, I'm a pretty selfish person. I can't do that. And I'm like, amazing. I mean, it was great. It was like, she knew where she was at, and I knew where I was at. And it's like, I fucking love you for life. I just can't have you in my life.
Yep.
But it was the same way for both. So if you let people go with love, and always love the people who hurt you. Because
as hard as it is,
when
you get to that point of loving someone that really broke you down, that's when you know you can really release them.
Do you know what my method for that is? What I teach people? Because it's really hard, especially if you've been through a lot of really bad trauma. What I teach people when it comes to how do you let someone go with love that's done the worst things to you, that's done, say, the unthinkable. As a human, we're incapable of doing that. And that's true. We aren't. However, we are if we look at it at a higher perspective. And if you look at it at hurt people. Think about it. When people are babies, do you think a 2-year-old baby says, oh, I'm going to end up being a murderer? No. Something happened to that soul. Something happened to that person. So the people who put people down and the people who just make you feel like this or actually hurt you physically, mentally, whatever, they need more love than anything because they are so fucking lost.
Yeah.
But you need boundaries. You don't have those people in your life, but you just look at them as, wow, I'm sorry that you are this way, and I wish you the best. And I'm going to choose to forgive you and choose to love you no matter what, because you're incapable of loving and forgiving yourself.
That's the most selfless thing you can do. It really is. It's not easy. A lot of people cannot do that.
Yes, but if we can teach people to do that.
Yeah.
If people could realize that maybe you signed up for some shit so that you could be the most amazing, incredible person. Maybe you signed up to have a really hard life so that you could know how to love. We don't learn anything through happiness. We learn it through pain, unfortunately. And if we can look at people who hurt us and realize they're hurt or they would not hurt, and look at them as souls. So I run around and I just look at everybody as souls. And I'm like, well, oh, and then when I'm in my human, like, you know, when you're driving down the fucking road and somebody cuts you off, I'm like, fucking asshole. And then I'm always like, ooh, my human's such a bitch today. Because so I disconnect. I realize that's not who I am.
Yeah.
My higher self knows that person could be rushing to a hospital. That person could have just got fired. That person could have had a kid. And exactly. You got to look at.
Okay, so I'm sorry to interrupt you. That is so on point. So for me, normally, like my road rage in Boston, I'm like, why are you cutting me off for? I think back to the time where I had to rush my dog to the hospital. I was cutting everyone off left and right on the highway because I wanted to save my dog. You don't know what anyone's going through. Not everyone on the road is driving drunk or driving this, or, you know, there's reasons sometimes why people are driving the way they're driving because they want to save someone, or things happen. So now I look at things differently. Whereas before I'd be like, you fucking asshole, you cut me off. Fungool, you know,
I'm driving here.
Yeah. Get out of Boston, head on. But now I'm like, you know, oh my gosh, I've been there, I've done that. I've been in a life or death situation where I've had to save a friend or a pet. Or anybody, and I'm rushing as fast as I can to get help. They're all beeping and everything.
Because you're awake.
Now I see.
Because you see, you've done, the key word is you've done the work.
Right.
If we can teach people, like, put yourself in that person's shoes for 5 seconds, or just disconnect and don't take it personally and just be like, ooh, something's going on. You know, it's like when people give me the finger, I'm just like,
you know what I do now? People give me the finger all the time, and I'm like, I go like this. Oh my God, I hope you have an amazing day. God bless you. I don't do it in a condescending way. I genuinely mean, I hope you have an amazing day. And I hope that, you know, they probably think I'm being a bitch, but I'm not. I'm genuinely sending happiness their way as they're giving me the finger as they drive by me and beeping. Okay.
And that's all we're being asked to do.
Yeah.
You can only control you. You can even have, like, so seeing people's soul paths and their life purposes, well, I see their soul contracts. Contracts from everything, contracts to children coming, to marriages, to, I see what contracts they signed up for before they come.
Oh my God.
And yeah, like if you can look at it from a different perspective, if we can just open people's eyes, and I think this is why more people like you guys are starting to do this. You already know all this. You're already doing it on a daily basis.
Taylor, do you already know all that?
I know it all. Yeah, I'm a work in progress, just like anyone else. But yeah, I'm definitely stepping more into my divine purpose. I can feel it.
Yeah. Good. I love that. So you've had, I don't want to call it a reading, but you've had a conversation about all of this with her. Yeah. We're through the conversation of talking about all this. That's when I knew that I should bring her on the podcast and get her message out there. And as a matter of fact, yeah, we should probably actually wrap it up. So, Danielle, why don't you pitch yourself? Because the soul contract, the soul purpose stuff, I feel like people should come find you to talk about it. So tell us all your info, your email, your IG handle, whatever it is, get it out there and let people come find you who need to find you.
That's why I haven't actually started much. I think you have to heal yourself before you can heal others, right? Yeah. Or like what I like to tell people, you inspire yourself and then you inspire the world. right? And even at that was an email that I set up, I think 15 years ago. One day I was washing the fucking dishes and my head's like, well, start a page. And I'm like, what? Like, start a page. You have to tell people what you know. No longer shall you keep it in. And I'm like, what? No. What would I name it? And my head says, you already have the name. I'm like, I don't have the fucking name. And then my head's like, you already have the email. And so honestly, zero idea why when I was 20, I made an email, Inspire Yourself, not knowing. Now I know, but exactly, because it starts with us. We do us, and then we inspire the world. So right now you can find me on Instagram under Inspire Yourself Guidance by Danielle, or my email is just inspireyourself@live.ca.
Perfect.
I don't have a website
yet.
Yeah.
You are so inspirational, and I'm definitely going to talk to you off air, even though I'm being more open with people that follow me online, but we'll talk off air.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, thank you so much, Danielle, for being here. This is fantastic.
Thank you. I'm glad that we could talk about this stuff, because this is stuff that's hard to talk about.
It is.
People would rather have people listen to their stories than to tell them, hey, this is what we could do to get you out of it. Hey, this is why you went through it. Hey, don't you know this is what you're supposed to be doing? So yeah, I just let people come to me, and if they're guided to, they can email me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. Well, I'm going to stop the recording there. Feel free to hang out for a second. And that's our episode of Fortune and Romance. So thank you so much, everybody, for listening.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Absolutely. All right. Bye-bye, everybody.